This is my second coffee today and it's not even 1 o'clock. Oops. So today, let's talk about being successful in college. Hi, if you don't already know, oh my god, there's a ladybug on my ceiling. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Really annoying. Anyway, today we're talking about being successful in college. And if you don't already know me, hi, I am Anna. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. I do a whole range of different fun things, and there's definitely something for everyone on my channel. But today we're talking about how to be successful in college. So hopefully you clicked on this video because maybe you're new in college, you're going into college as a freshman, or maybe you're already a college student and you're like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Well, I'm here to help. I'm here to give you some tips and tricks on how to be more successful in college. And what does that include? Well, how to be successful academically, most importantly, and also feel like you're getting the most out of your college experience. So I am currently a senior in college. Yep, I know. Wow, I am only 1 semester away from joining the real world, and I won't lie to you, I'm pretty nervous about it. But I have enjoyed college for the past 3.5 years, and it's been a swell time, and I have learned some tips and tricks on how to be successful in college. So let's see, what's the first tip I'd have to give you? First and foremost, tip number 1 is your class load. So every college has different rules about how many classes you're allowed to take, how many credits that is. Our class, each class is usually about 3 credits. Labs, so you have regular lecture and a lab, those are about 5 credits. And then the really easy like new student seminar that you take as a freshman is only like 1 credit. So there are multiple credits ranging between 1 credit and 5 credits at my college. Now I will say, I know at my sister's college where she goes, each class is just 1 credit. So obviously that's a little different in terms of how many credits you take. So keep that in mind as I'm talking. I'm talking about my own credits, what we can take at my school, and I know every school is different. For my college, the maximum amount of credits you're allowed to take is 18 credits a semester. You can do an overload course where you apply to take more, up to, I believe, about 22 credits. If you really want to push yourself that semester, obviously. So for me, 18 credits is the maximum number of credits you could take each semester. So that's about 6 classes. That's about 6, give or take 6 classes a semester. Right now, I am taking 5 credits, not 5 credits, I am taking 5 classes this semester, and this is actually one of my lighter class loads. I usually take 18 credits a semester, every single semester. This semester I'm only taking 15 though, so I've decided to give myself a little bit of a break for my senior year. Now, class load, you need to know yourself, okay? Before you decide to take your maximum amount of credits for your college, you need to know your own drive and ambition, your ability to get things done. You need to know that yourself. Can you handle 18 credits if you were to go to my, can you handle the maximum amount of credits? Or do you need to take less credits a semester in order to be successful and to make sure you get things done on time and correctly without overwhelming yourself? So you need to know yourself. How easily are you stressed out? Do you do well under high pressure situations and whatnot? So make sure you really think about it before you overload your credits. So that's my first tip. Make sure you take the amount of credits you can handle and don't let anyone else tell you how many you should or shouldn't be taking. Have a schedule. Have a calendar that you keep for yourself. I'm not talking about class schedule. I'm talking about your own personal schedule and a way to keep track of it. So I have this beautiful little agenda that I have with me. At all times, it sits on my desk, and I write down literally everything I need to do all my classes, homework, work schedule on this calendar. I also realize that not everyone's like, I can write it down, but if I don't look at it, I'm not going to remember. And I get that because sometimes I'll go like a whole week without opening this. So what I do is I like to make sure I go on to my Canvas page on my class, whatever your school uses, Canvas, D2L, I don't know the other ones, whatever type of system you guys use to keep track of your classes online. Go to that. There's usually a way to see a calendar so you can see all the assignments that have been put into your classes. And what I like to do is I will pull up my phone calendar and I will put all the due dates, the assignments, and set reminders for myself a few days before the assignment is due. That way I don't forget about it. So if I can't remember something is coming up, what do? I have a reminder usually set, and that reminder pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, that assignment's due tomorrow, or that assignment is due in 3 days that I really need to do. So whether it is an agenda or a regular wall calendar, if it's a whiteboard calendar, if it's your phone calendar, write everything down. Write every single due date down. Make sure that is in your calendar at all times, because you miss a due date for one assignment and it's a big assignment, you might have just failed that class. I know people who have had that happen to them. They like accidentally forgot an assignment and their grade went from an A to a C, you know? So especially once you get to the end of the semester when all the big assignments come in, make sure you have multiple places where that due date is, where you can see it. Tip number 3, set small attainable goals. I don't want to hear you say, I'm going to get all A's this semester, if you don't have smaller goals in order to reach that. That is a huge goal, to be like, I want all A's this semester. To say that at the beginning of the semester, that's a huge goal. How are you going to get to that goal? Okay, set little goals. Set little obtainable goals in order to get there. Like set a goal like, I am going to make sure I study at least 1 full hour, uninterrupted hour every day. You know, depending on how much you feel you need to study for yourself. Everyone studies differently, obviously. Some people need to study 3 hours, 5 hours a day. Some people don't need to study at all, you know, depending on how your brain works. Know that. Of course, you need to know that about yourself. Are you someone who, in order to get A's, needs to study a lot? Or are you someone who doesn't necessarily need to put hours and hours of time into something in order to do well? Everyone is different, and keep that in mind. That ladybug is driving me nuts. But yeah, make sure you set small goals. So like, I want to make sure I do all my assignments that are typically due on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I want to make sure all of those are done by Sunday before, you know, having days and times. I want to make sure a goal to have is I want to make sure I meet with my professor in this one really hard class I'm having trouble with at least once a week. You know, make sure you have those small goals in order to get to the big goals. Because if you have a big goal, you're just focused on that huge, unattainable thing that you're like, oh gosh, I gotta make sure I am getting all A's. But it's like, how do you get A's? And smaller goals, when you reach those smaller goals, they make you feel like you are making progress. And that helps so much. Because if you're like, I don't know if I'm making progress to this goal, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it, and you start panicking and freaking out and stressing out, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. Have small, obtainable goals. Tip number 4, do not overexert yourself. Make sure you have a balance in your life. So I know people, I have seen it, everyone will see it when they come to college. There are people who party constantly. Okay, no matter where you go to college, you know, you might go to a very prestigious college, there is always going to be someone there who is constantly partying, is constantly posting on their Snapchat videos of them in the club or drinking or at a frat party. I don't care where you go, it will happen and you will see it. Now, let me tell you something. You don't want to be that person, okay? You come to college, I hate to say it, college is meant to be academic. You are paying the school a ton of money for their resources. Don't waste it by getting wasted constantly. I'm not saying that you can't go out and go to a party on a weekend. You can't hang out with your friends. College is the time in your life you're given some freedom. Like, you should have fun and go do things that you find fun. But when you're that person who is constantly walking to the dorm, back to the dorm drunk at 2 a.m, let me tell you, everyone on your floor, every one of your peers, they're going to they're not going to worry about you, but they're going to look at you and be like, oh no, that person is wasting so much money, because college is expensive, okay? If you just want to party and you don't want to go to your classes and you don't want to do any of the work, I hate to say it, like, don't go to college. Like, go travel and go to clubs. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So have a balance. And on the other side of that, don't be the person who is constantly just studying. Like, that sounds bad. You're in college. You should be studying because classes are hard. They're not easy. But you shouldn't be like, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to study. I have to do this. I have to do this. And you're like, I study like 15 hours a day. Like, you don't leave the library. You don't go out and do anything. You are so focused on your grades that you overexert yourself, and you're going to be exhausted, and you're going to come out of college like, yes, maybe I did very well, maybe I have a job, but you're going to be like, I didn't experience anything. So have a balance. Like, obviously study and do your classwork and go to class, but also, make some time for yourself, even if that's like, okay, Saturday is the day where one day a week, Saturday, I don't do anything school related. That's the day for me. That's the day where I either go back and see my family. That's the day where I go hang out with friends. That's the day I go to a party, and then be like, but Sunday is the day where I make sure I have everything set up for the week and make sure I have any important assignments started and I am working on it. Have that balance. That is the most important thing. Don't be one or the other. Be a mix. Tip number 5, use the resources on campus, okay? You're like, oh, I don't want to go to the library and talk to a reference librarian. Well, if you don't already know how to do certain citations or use the databases your school supplies for you, well, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go talk to them, okay? I am a manager. I am a student manager at my library, at my campus library. That's where I work. And let me tell you, I know a lot of secret little things that the college has for students that a lot of college students don't know you have, okay? Use the resources. Use your university center. Use your library. If you have a problem or you don't know how to do something, there is someone on campus who knows how to do it. It might be your professor, it might be another student in your class, it might be the reference librarian, it might be the head of the career and leadership department on campus. Make sure you look into different types of departments, different types of resources, because colleges have so many resources, you should use them. Like my library, our library here on my campus that I work at, we don't have it right now because of COVID. We don't have really any of the events in the library right now. But we usually would have every week a resume doctor, and it's someone who works professionally in interviewing and hiring process at companies. You bring your resume in and they will look at it, they will give you notes, they will cross things out, they will help you make the best resume you can. If your college has something like that, I definitely recommend it, especially as you get older, especially as you get into junior and senior year. Your colleges probably also have career fairs where they bring in different companies and you can walk around and meet people, network. Yeah, make sure you use those resources because colleges are there to help you. They know you're spending a lot of money on them. They want to make sure they are helping you as best as they can, They're like, you're spending a lot of money to be here. We're going to help you make sure that you can be successful once you leave. If you don't use any of the resources on campus, well, I hate to say it, but you're going to miss out on so much that you could learn. So use the resources on campus. Tip number 6, if you have the ability to, get a job on campus, okay? Some people are like very strict on, I don't want a job during the school year. I need to focus only on school. Something I've noticed as someone who has had a job during the school year and also hasn't had a job during the school year, I do better when I have a job. And I'll tell you why. It makes you practice having balance. It also helps you be very time sensitive. You understand the amount of time you have, and you are very good at being organized and using your time wisely, okay? So you want to make sure, if you want a job, because let me tell you, extra money is great to have for groceries, to go out and eat lunch with your friends, to buy school supplies, whatever it may be, having a job is great. If you have the ability to get a job on campus, do so. Why? Because if you're someone who's like, I don't want a full-time job during school, my part-time job at my local retail store, they give me 25 hours a week and it's just too much during the school year, your job on campus will be a lot less hours. And for some people that sounds like, oh, gross, I need more hours, I need to be able to pay for things. But having less hours is great because A, you're still working, you are meeting new people, you are networking in that department that you are working for. You are also making some money. It might not be a lot, but it's some, better than nothing. And they also realize, first and foremost, you are a student. When I work, I have an on-campus job. I've also had off-campus jobs. My off-campus jobs, yes, they pay me a lot more, but they also don't care about my other responsibilities. If I have something big going on and I have to call off, I'm usually penalized, and they don't like that. They're not nice to me about it. But the great thing about having a job on campus is, first and foremost, they realize you are a student first, worker second, which is really great. They're a lot more lenient with you. They're a lot better at getting you hours that work for you, and your shifts are usually a lot shorter, and usually a lot of jobs allow you to do homework and other things while you are working, especially if you have a desk job. You are allowed to do homework and other things. I know I work at the library, as I have mentioned. During the day, I don't really get to do homework because the library can get busy. But when I work nights and it's kind of dead, yeah, I can stay at the desk and I can do my homework. Or the weekends, I work Saturdays. I can, when I am assigned to the desk to work the desk and wait for students to come up and ask me questions, I can read a book, I can do my homework, while I'm sitting there at work. So it's great because you're able to do a lot more multitasking there. And also you get to meet people on campus who know tools and resources offered on campus. Networking is always a great thing to do while you are in college. Meet a ton of people, meet people in different departments, because they may be able to help you out in more ways than you could know later on in your future. You never know. You are given the option to take electives, and usually you have to take a few electives for your gen eds usually. Try and take something that is not related to your field, whatever major or minor you have. Try and take something different. Something maybe you wouldn't have necessarily taken something in a different major in a different college. My university has 4 different colleges. Try and take something in a different college, because you will learn things that you wouldn't learn in your field. You learn a different perspective. You also might find a new passion, something you're passionate about. You might find something you want to explore as a side hobby or a side job, because when you leave college, let me tell you something that's very smart to do. You want to have multiple streams of income. So if you can find a passion or a talent in something else, you have whatever you're majoring in, you could always get certificates in a different major field or something. At least my college offers it, where, I have a major, I have a minor. Actually, I have I'm a double major, so I don't have a minor anymore. But I could always go get a certification in a different department, which is it's not quite an associate's degree, but it does show that you have a basic understanding more than a normal person on this subject matter. So that can also help you out. So if you could find something else other than your regular field that you can learn about, that you can know, that might help you in the future, that might give you a great point of view. That's also something you could add to your resume, because people in whatever industry you're going for, they probably want well-rounded individuals. Yes, they want you to be certified in what you need to be certified in, but they also want to know that you have other abilities and skills that you can bring to the table. I am an English major. I am constantly told that English is useless. Maybe you watching it are like, oh, English, like what can you do with that? What I have learned from other fields that I have looked into and stuff, they like English majors, because English majors are taught things a lot differently than other majors are. We are taught to learn about human perspective and communication quite a bit. We are able to read people very well and communicate very well. We can also write well. I can write very well professionally. I can write very well creatively, but I'm also an advertising major, so I'm getting certified and trained in that field, but I also have my background of English that helps me out, because companies want well-rounded individuals. They want to know you can work on a team. They want to know that you can communicate and work well. And English, I think everyone should take an English course, but that's just me, because you learn a lot about you learn so much about human nature that I don't think people realize English majors have to learn about. And that's great to know about other people. It's great to know how people work, how people think and perceive things, because it helps you out a lot. So making sure you take electives in different fields, like maybe you're a science major, take an art course. Maybe you're an art major, take a business course. You want to match things up in different fields, because I don't know if you know this, but so many things are related to each other, even if you don't think they are. Advertising and history, yeah, taking a history course as an advertising major, because obviously history is important. Learning about people, where they come from, very important. You got to be able to know how to find those things and understand those things, If you're an artist or a graphic design major, taking a business course might show you, hey, do I want to be able to turn my art into a type of business, and how would I go about doing that? You might learn some basics that you need to know in order to start a business and career. So always take something in a different subject than you usually would. And then my final tip for you, and I might end up making another part of this video, because there are a lot of things to be a successful college student, but my final tip for this video is going to be, check your dang email. Okay, a lot of colleges give out personal emails, so you get a school email that's for you. It's set up right when you enroll in school. They give you an email, and let me tell you, that is how everyone on that campus communicates with each other. That is how you will hear from your professor. You'll hear from your peers in your classes. You will hear from your chancellor. You will hear from different departments and whatnot, telling you what is available on campus. So check your email. I know so many people are like, yeah, I only check my email like once a week. I'm like, you are missing so much. And it's also very inconvenient, because group projects are so much more prevalent in college than they are in high school. I hate to say it if you're a high school student and you hate group projects. I do too, bud, but I have to do so many of them. And the way I talk to my partners, my group members, is through email. And if you're someone who doesn't check your email, you are slowing down the rest of your teammates, especially if you are currently doing a group project. You are slowing everyone down, you are causing problems, and you are probably missing important information from your professors. I get emails constantly throughout the day from my professors, even classes I don't have today. I get emails from them warning me or telling me about something I need to have for the upcoming class. Also, if your class is canceled, that is how your teacher is going to tell you. I can't tell you how many times my freshman year, because I was really bad at checking my email at the time that I would go into a class and no one was there and I'd be like, what? And then I'd check my email and be like, oh, class is canceled today. I could have slept in. So, you know, there are benefits to checking your email. If you're like, I'm really bad at checking just my general email, not even my school email, like I don't even check my general email, set up a notification for it. You know, you gotta know how your college communicates. Especially right now with COVID, we're getting a lot of COVID emails from the University Health Center like, hey, we have free testing, come in, or you've been selected for random testing, or especially, you know, whether or not they're going to shut us down again. At this point in the semester, we're not going to get shut down, but just saying, you know, whatever happens. Also, for my own college the other day, we had a display of a handgun on campus. Someone pulled out a gun and started not shooting people, but like yelling at people and waving it around, and that was scary. And you want to know how I found that out? Because I actively check my emails and they sent an emergency alert like, hey, as of right now, no one is physically at harm, but this situation could escalate. Please stay indoors. So that's very important because sadly, those are things that happen. You know, there are emergency alerts that go out. You need to know, you know, when it happens, and usually they send it through email. Or when 2 years ago, a gas leak happened on campus and it shut down 4 different buildings. 4 different buildings couldn't get any type of water. An electricity line was down. You couldn't get anything. It was a huge mess. And you know how I found out that my dorm was one of the ones that they're like, hey, you know, there was a gas leak. You need to evacuate and stay away from this area. Well, I checked my emails. Also, we had that one year, oh my God, so many happened, like a water pipe burst and they're like, hey, you can't use your own bathroom. And it's like, great. They're like, please go to a different building on campus to use the bathroom, which was so annoying, by the way. But like, how do I know this? I check my emails. So make sure you know how your school communicates and you check your emails and your, you know, profile message, whatever they send things through. Make sure you check it multiple times a day. Anyway, that is my tips for being successful in college. I probably will end up making a second video because there are a lot more, and I want to help any of my fellow college students out there. Whether you're in high school going into college and maybe you're nervous, I'm here to make you not nervous because college is pretty cool, but you want to be successful in college, you want to do well, you want to know you're getting your money's worth. Well, I'm going to try and help you because I have been trying to get my money's worth and do things to make sure I am prepared for the real world, and so I'm going to also tell you how to do it. Anyway, I hope you really like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you want to see more, if you want to hear more about college life, more college-esque videos. Give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here on my YouTube family. I do put out videos every Monday and Wednesday, and I hope you have a great day.